and I've known Anthony about 20 years. Anthony's the type of guy who just makes you feel good, you know? Everybody who knows Anthony knows what I'm talking about. Anthony professionally holds a BS degree in nursing, and he's got his master's in business administration. He also has had a lot of training and certifications in environmental and spiritual hygiene cleansing, health and spiritual dowsing assessment, energy healing with Japanese systems, and life coach mentoring. He works as a nurse, RN nurse consultant over at Langley, and is a father of 4 children. So without further ado, let's invite Anthony up. Yeah, enjoy yourself.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you. Good morning. It's good to see these faces here again. I want to join Marlena in saying that this is our home church. This really is. We have not been to another church since we left this church. So this is our home church. I just want to let you know that I come back here and see so many symbols of life, and symbols of joy and happiness. It's just amazing, all the changes that we see when we come here. It's magical. And a little while into my talk, I will explain why that is so important. And also for all you to know that this is the place. This place is the change place. So my talk is going to be part insight, part meditation, and part process. So I would like for y'all to kind of close your eyes right now and just kind of remember your past. When we decide to incarnate and are in the discussion period with our assistive higher spirit dimensional beings, we generally plan for our life's journey in advance. What our milestones, paradigm shifts, and decision points, and basically our life-changing moments, what those will be. And to know that God knew you from the very beginning. Psalm 139:16, your eyes saw my unformed substance. In your book were written, every one of them, the days that were formed for me, when as yet there were none of them. Jeremiah 1:5, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and before you were born, I consecrated you. I appointed you to be a prophet to the nations. Ephesians 1:4, even as he chose us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and blameless before him in love. Our spirit rested in our mother's womb, and God fashioned our bodies. Psalm 139:13 through 15. For you formed my inner parts, you knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth. We emerge into the world with expectation, and then the first sound therapy we hear our first sound therapy. When we emerge into this world, our senses are discombobulated and unstable. Our eyes are fuzzy, our ears aren't working properly, and then we discover that that sound is coming from us. We have no memory of the plans that we had when we were with the higher beings in that realm. Adam, prior to Eve being created, was naming animals and living off the land, so God appears to Adam. God says, Adam. Adam goes, yep. God, Adam, there are lots more things to be done, and you have been pretty successful in naming the other living things, but you need help. I mean, serious help. God, Adam goes, yep. God, I am going to put you into sleep, do some minor surgery, and voila. God spoke French too. You will have a helpmate. So God puts Adam to sleep, extracts a rib, and Eve was created. God wakes Adam up and says, your helpmate. Adam goes, thank you. A week passes. God says, Adam? Adam goes, yep. I was curious, before Eve was created, how did you come to the animal names sloth and platypus? Adam says, if I tell you, you may put me back to sleep and voila, another wife. God goes, duly noted. See, Adam, Eve is working already. We are destined to evolve, to be altered, to transform, to change our perceptions, notions, and our thought patterns and biases. One of the things I know so much about the fellowship when it comes to this support behind me, this altar, it's not a coincidence that it's called altar. It means it alters your perception as you have communion with God. It alters your life. You have changes. We are to be changed when we come from that realm before we are corporeal bodies. And I don't think it doesn't get as much play as the fact that we are also change agents. All of us in here are here to not only evolve, but to change and assist one another in that process of growth. And right now, we have an opportunity to make changes in our life. So here's one, I have two people that I know Bruce loves the most. Ram Dass. Ram Dass, and I'm picking the information that professionals have written about Ram Dass. Ram Dass served on the faculty at Stanford and Harvard universities. In the 1960s, he traveled to India where he met his guru, and over the course of his life, pursued a variety of spiritual practices, including Guru Kripa, devotional yoga, and karma yoga, many forms of meditation, and Sufi and Jewish studies. Many of his books, including Be Here Now, are international bestsellers and classics of their kind. He died in December 2019. And Ram Dass, I picked out 3 quotes that Ram Dass had in the book, Be Here Now. He said, the quieter you become, the more you can hear. He also said, the next message you need is always right where you are. We are all just walking each other home, is another one of his quotes. So I have a quick story. The lesson of being here now. So I had a short assignment to the National Capital Region. I was in a panic, and I inadvertently volunteered for an assignment. I had hardly any information, and my mind was in the future. I reached for a lifeline and called Bruce Shelton. I am convinced that this is what Bruce heard on the other end of the phone. And so I am convinced that's what Bruce heard. And I'm also convinced Bruce said, "Get a grip on you, buddy." He said, "I need to tase that big baby." And this is how Bruce tased me. Bruce said, "For now, you have the best available information to know you are, the best available information you have, and you know you are equipped to handle whatever they give to you. I promise you, you are equipped to achieve whatever needs to be accomplished in your assignment. What happens is, when we have too many unknowns, our minds become more anxious as we seek and plan for imagined scenarios." He said, "Be present, be here now." Anthony, woosah. It was as if Bruce changed my diaper, stuck a bottle in my mouth, and put me to bed. Another one of Bruce's favorites, Eckhart Tolle, the power of now. Have you found yourself getting tangled in your past or becoming obsessed with your plans for the future? Well, there's nothing really wrong with thinking about these things. It becomes a problem when you are unable to enjoy the gift of the here and now. These thoughts can ultimately become destructive. The power of now explains how getting caught up in the past or the future can keep you from enjoying your life, and how you can lose your life when you focus on the life situation too much. This guide will help you determine if you are ready to make this powerful transformation. And here's what the author explains. Enlightenment, what it is and what it is not, the difference between clock time and psychological time, how letting go of the past and the future can free you of anxiety and fear, how you can use suffering and negativity to bring about positive changes in your life, and so much more. So all that we have is now. Isn't that true? We only have now. The past is gone and the future is not guaranteed. Enjoy this gift and use it wisely. There is a book by Bessel van der Kolk, MD, The Body Keeps the Score, Brain, Mind, and Body, and the Healing of Trauma. Trauma's impact is not only mental, emotional, and neurological, but also physiological. Trauma rewires the brain to put people in a constant state of stress or numbness, leading to a host of physical problems. So when we are in that astral realm, before we get into our corporeal bodies, it is no wonder we don't know what our plans are when we get here as babies. The erasure of the memory decision happens in the planning phase up there. Because we would be asking ourselves, why would I choose this? Who in their right minds would want this? Change is going to happen. Change is the constant. So in the past 3 years, Marlena and I have been blessed with a healing technology called spiritual hygiene. Bruce mentioned it in introducing me. And this was created by Sakara Camila, and she actually attended here some years back. She did a talk on ancestors and your family tree. And she transitioned a year ago, another one of my mentors. And it was a 12-week course consisting of 2.5-hour modules. Her belief and her premise was a spirit-filled vessel that is impaired, is in peril. When we are unbalanced, we leave ourselves open to lots of things and lots of entities. So I'm going to read the definition of what spiritual hygiene is. And it's long. The process of cleaning energetic debris, psychic attacks, and intentional disruptive non-physical beings and noxious or harmful energies of the earth due to ley lines and other experiences in which you identify and call upon higher dimensional beings to conduct, commandeer, oversee, guide, remove, and relocate the offending entity or issue. She summarized it all in 3 words: better critter getters. Go get those critters. This is what she commissioned us to do. She likened it to you're driving down the road and you're experiencing life and you meet this hitchhiker. So you pick up the hitchhiker and say, look, travel with me. Go down the road with me. And some point during that drive, the hitchhiker takes over and begins to drive the car wherever that person decides to go. And you become the passenger. She said that in our lifetime, we accumulate thought patterns and traumas and situations that no longer served us, no longer serve us now, and that we could remove it now. We could remove it today. In the process, there are 51 spiritual hygiene issues and 64 emotional body issues that we clear. And this is also a partnership that we have with our client, because the client has to do some work. And also the premise is, just like in spiritual hygiene, you liken it to you brushing your teeth, removing that bacteria from your mouth, taking a bath, removing that bacteria from your bodies, is what spiritual hygiene really is. We pick up all the manner of energies and entities in this life journey, and we don't do this alone. We do this with the help of higher dimensional beings, which we have access to. We all have access to God, and whatever name you give God, whoever that is for you, we have higher beings that assist us. So I want to help us discover how this process works. And what I was reminding y'all in this sanctuary is that at the moment you walk into this sanctuary, this building, the atmosphere changes. You'll put a lot of work into making this a loving, magnetic facility, that nothing can pass in here that is not of God. And we are grateful for this because we have taken that same experience that you have delivered unto us. You're being change agents for Marlena and myself to go out into the world and be what this sanctuary is. So let's discover how this process works. And we have invocations. And invocations, like many prayers, have three main elements: a call to higher power, the request or the intentional change, and then gratitude to that higher power. So, for example, let's look at the great invocation, right? So we ask from the point of light within the mind of God, we ask the request that let light stream forth into the minds of men, and let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of man, let the plan of love and light work out. And may it seal the door where evil dwells or anything else that is not of God. And then, of course, let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. That's an invocation. We call higher beings on high to change us, to change the world, to change what our minds are doing. And like it, our offertory blessing, another invocation. Divine love, we call higher being, divine love through me and us, bless and multiply all that we have, all that we give, and all that we receive. Thank you, Mother, Father, God. Invocation. So in order for us to make ourselves ready for this process, there are some prayers that we always use, and I am going to read, I usually use 3, but I'm going to read 2 of them, and some of them you will be very familiar with. So in preparation for this process, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and feel this meditation. I am light, glowing light, radiating light, intensified light. God consumes my darkness, transmuting it into light. This day, I am a focus of the central sun. Flowing through me is a crystal river, a living fountain of light that can never be qualified by human thought and feeling. I am an outpost of the divine. Such darkness as has used me is swallowed up by the mighty river of light which I am. I am, I am, I am light. I live, I live, I live in light. I am light's fullest dimension. I am light's purest intention. I am light, light, light. flooding the world everywhere I move, blessing, strengthening, and conveying the purpose of the kingdom of heaven. Next prayer. This is the unity prayer. The light of God surrounds me, us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. So one of the processes is called bringing down the tunnel of light. And what I am reminded by, years ago, before I met Marlena, I used to be part of a church, another fellowship, and we were basically Christian Jews. Our holy days were the same as the Hebrews, the Jewish people. And we had one particular holy day called the Days of Unleavened Bread. And during that time, the weeks before, we would go through our home and clean out all the things that had yeast in the refrigerator, in the stoves, under our beds. It was the proverbial spring cleaning. That's where spring cleaning comes from that thought pattern. And we would go into the dark places and we would shine a light to discover what it is in ourselves that bring distress to people, the sinning that puffs us up. We would look for those. That's how we would prepare for the days of unleavened bread. And the day prior to the 7 days of unleavened bread is Passover. God giving his life and removing the death angel from in our stead. So the tunnel of light prayer process works very much like that. And I am going to have you sit back while I use this process. And oftentimes we do this while we are swinging a pendulum. And we, of course, we clear ourselves first. And here how it goes. I call upon Yeshua, Archangel Michael, all the angels of sanctification, and the ascended masters, Archangel Raziel, and any available higher dimensional beings available to assist us in this process. Please bring the tunnel of light down around me, all those in the sanctuary, this building, folks who are considered congregants of this fellowship. And we say, please clear and remove from our bodies and energy fields any attachments, implants, anything that is not of God, and take it through the tunnel of light to a place where it belongs. Take the tunnel with them as well, so that none of them may return. Please fill my body, our bodies, with pure fifth dimensional light frequencies of the highest order. We ask that you ground us firmly in our body. Thank you, beloved beings of light, for your presence and assistance. Lub-dub, lub-dub. That's the sound your heart makes. We have an opportunity to change ourselves, and be change agents for the Almighty. And in closing, I would like to read the Gakkai, which is Reiki masters, or Reiki practitioners use as the precepts as we begin our day and end our night. And I will read it in the English first. For today only, do not be angry. Do not be anxious, and be grateful. Work hard and be kind to others. Kyo takiwa, ikauruna, shinpai suna, kansha sheite, kiwowo hagami, hitu ni sensetsu ni. Gasho. We send love, call upon your ascended masters, your spiritual guides, to do this work and be change agents for this planet, because we know this planet needs it. Once again, grateful to be here and ask that we all go in peace and in love and in light. Amen.